So welcome to the channel. This is the Loft Build, and this loft is particularly interesting because it was formed in 1987, built with trusses at 1200 centres, which means that for some things like fitting windows or building small dormers, it's super easy. So we built a dormer last week, and it's basically an access dormer. So where I'm actually standing right now, we're going to take away the conservatory and we're going to build a really nice big extension with a terrace, with a flat roof, so we can take in all of those lovely views out in the garden there and beyond. So what we're going to do is fit this between two of the trusses exactly like the one over there. So the one over there we built, and we've got a list of every single part, and we've pre-made everything. All we've got to do is just adjust the length slightly. So we've got all the angles on the ends and all the rest of it. And we are going to take out the battens. We've got the tiles out the way. We're going to take out the battens where we need to, cut the sarking boards out, get all that out the way, and then we're going to put it together. And we're going to do all of that in one day. We're going to get it all weathered up, get the tiles cut back around the sides with their soakers. We're going to get the sarking or the breathable membrane on the outside as well. And then that'll be all in the dry, and then the flat roofer will come along. He'll flat roof the lids in, then we'll clad the sides with thermo wood. So it's going to look really good. So we'll go inside and we'll show you the kit of parts that we've made to create this dormer. So here's where the dormer is going to be going. It's going to be going in between these two trusses here. We've tripled up the sides. We've added two more either side to give it some extra support to support the plates. Now let me show you the kit of parts that we have. So on top of the flat roof, this is actually the flat roof. All the joists are here ready to go straight onto the dormer cheeks when they're done. So the dormer cheeks are here. We've got basically the wall plates that go up the roof. We've got our end studs. We've also got our top plates. And then we've got a series of studs that get cut in to form the actual roof. We've got a series of noggins and blocks here. These are batten supports that we need to put in first. We've also got all of our lay boards that go up the roof at the top, for example, when the flat roof comes over. We've got our furring pieces here as well. Everything has been pre-cut to suit the roof. So instead of the last one we did, where we stripped it all off and we made every single piece as we went and put it together, and it was quite tight, and we had it done by 3 p.m, we reckon that we'll get this one done by about 1 p.m, which gives us the whole afternoon to get all of the tiles up the sides, get the tarpaulins round and all the rest of it, making sure that it stays in the dry. So I'll show you the other one from the inside, which is through in here. So this is basically it. We've got two cheeks. This is a temporary sort of door on the front, if you like, and then we've got this flat roof that comes back through. So it's fairly straightforward. The trusses aren't perfectly parallel, so the first thing we did is we put a centre line through, a laser line through. We created a rod. We found the tightest spot, which was basically this truss plate here. So that was the tightest spot. So this truss actually bends around like this. So we had to take everything from there. And we also checked the other one at the same time, because we want two dormers that are exactly the same. So when we manufacture the doors for here, we've got two sets of doors exactly the same. It's just a much, much nicer way of going about things. So we're going to drop in there and we're going to build this dormer. Ready? Nice bit of rain just to add a bit of fun to the day. That's just life, isn't it? Life of the builder. What always have to be careful of is on battens, is when you're walking up battens you get this. It looks really, really innocent, but that's why it's so dangerous. And we have a multi-tool, Lloyd. Take the side buttons off. Not very well fixed, these. One nail in that. Just gonna knock the other nail through for a minute. All right, the marker.
I'll leave it there.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock it back out in a minute. Just gonna cut the tops of those. I'll just cut this out of the way. Pull the align to me. Give it a ping. Lovely. Let's have the circular saw. Just break a bit of this out, Lloyd, all right?
All right.
Get a hand to it. Good man. Get a cut bit off that side.
So I had a time lapse of the other dormer that we did on the other side, which is basically the exact same process. So we start by putting the actual plates up the roof which form the bottom. These are the wall plates that everything sits on, and we secure those in parallel to the center line. And then all we have to do then is start getting all of the studs in. So we have the first studs, which are the legs, if you like, at the very front. We pop those up, we secure them at the bottom. Then using a spirit level, we level them out, mark them exactly as they want to be, cut them off. So we take them back in, cut them off, then we refix them. Then we put the head plates over the top. We get everything nice and true, so plumb and level. Then we sort of brace it parallel, put a diagonal brace on the front face just to keep everything nice and true. And then we start marking up and fixing the smaller studs. So it's a really straightforward operation, and all the time we're doing this, we are cutting the parts for the other dormer. So that's what enabled us to make two at once effectively. So while we're doing this, we're just making everything twice, putting them out of the way. It was only the flat roof that we made as a whole for the other dormer. But as I mentioned towards the end of this video, we don't often always get all the footage that we want. So you're actually watching us doing the other dormer, which is exactly the same indeed. So yep, here we go. So we're just getting to a point now where we can measure up for the OSB cladding on the outside. We use 18mm, so it's really nice and rigid like a box. Makes everything really super strong as well. Some people use 12mm, some people indeed use 9mm for what we call sheathing on the outside of dormer, but I always like to use 18mm. It's just a much more nice solid job. And years ago we never used to use OSB, we always used to use plywood. Sometimes you'd get landed with shuttering plywood, sometimes you'd get what you call structural plywood, which is made from spruce, like a Weezer spruce, and that's a lovely bit of material. But now the OSB is such good quality and it's structural, so we always stick to using the OSB.
So we've formed the side cheeks of the dormer, we've got them all in, we've got it braced across, because the next job for us will be actually lifting our pre-made flat roof structure on. So as opposed to last time, we put the joists in individually and built it up. We've managed to make the whole thing up. We've literally got to sort of get it up there, drop it in, and then secure up into the joists. And that helps it stay exactly where we want it. We've got the dormers braced parallel and nice and rigid. So we'll get the flat roof on, we'll fix that down, screw the furring pieces in, put the ply on. Then we're going to cut the tiles up the sides, get those in with some soakers. We'll put some membrane on the sides cheeks. That'll come down over the cut tiles and the soakers, so that'll be nicely gutted. Put the OSB on the top with the furrings, of course, to fall, and then we'll get that covered up as well. So therefore, we're almost there, and it's about 11:30 in the morning, so it's been really quite quick. So we had a big pile of timber. Now we've got hardly anything because they've all been cut in and fixed. Well, that's it. That's the inside of the dormer. We've got our temporary door on. It's a bit of a grim day today, but let's go and have a look outside. There's Lloyd.
Hi guys.
Enjoy yourself?
Yeah, it's cool to see it go up so quickly with it being all pre-cut.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, that's the way we do roofs. We cut everything as much as we can before on the ground, and then we just do all of the hard work together, don't we?
Yeah, safer, quicker.
Much safer. So there we have it. We've just built this like access dormer there to match the access dormer there. They're actually symmetrical from the valley as well, which is quite nice. And when we take this conservatory away, we'll end up with a really nice new terrace on a flat roof. So basically we've got it all wrapped now and weathered. So we've got, as I say, believe it or not, our new flat roof actually comes to this level here. So we've got a build up of around about 500 mil. We've got a big glulam section. We've got our joists, then we've got our falls, then we've got a deck, and then we've got 120 of PIR over the top, then the alwitra. So the actual flat roof, these courses will be gone, and the flat roof will actually finish about 150 lower than the sill. Indeed, it finishes roughly on this course here, so there'll be an upstand going up the side underneath these tiles, and that'll be it. So we've just got this temporary cover on here, temporary door, that'll stay there till we get the windows in. Now we're going to clad these in thermo wood, so it's going to be upright cladding, it's going to look really contemporary. Thermo wood fascias, thermo wood soffits, vented soffit on the front. It's cross furred, so the furrings are over the top of the insulation. So unlike a warm roof, it's a cold roof, and it runs in, goes above the insulation on the slope in the pitch roof and out through a vented ridge. So it's all been thought of, and the reason why we did that is to keep, if we'd have put insulation on the top, made it a warm roof, then it would have been too high on that last course because the ridges are at different heights. So that's it. That was a bit of an epic day. It's a bit of rain and all the rest of it. So, you know, I'll feel a bit bedraggled and wet through. My legs are all a bit wet, but that's it. It's one of those things, you know, it's what you have to do. As I say, we tried to get a bit of filming. You did see some of the time lapse from the previous dormer, but sometimes when you're just knuckling down and getting on with the work, it's really quite difficult to actually capture all the stuff. And I know people say to me, how do you find the time to do it? Well, sometimes we don't, so you don't get all of the action, but there you go. When it's dry and we're inside, we'll film a lot more. Anyway, thanks for joining me. See you all again soon.